unanimous. Unanimous vote.
So once we're back going, I'll just indicate that we had discussions and.
Okay. As soon as I get the word from Rob. Where will that sound go off?
Pardon?
Sound about it's recording them.
Rob, he's just got paused.
Few troops coming back in. Welcome back to the public. We've rised from our in-camera session, and only the items that we went into closed session is what we spoke to, and there's nothing to report out of our closed session. So moving on to our agenda. I have a 7 with nothing beside it, so I'm going to say 8 is other business. So I'm going to start off with our Madam CEO. I think you have something to speak about with regard to delegations. Go ahead.
There, okay. Council, with regard to the AMO conference in August and potential delegations, I have a good year in Grey County. I have a number to put forward for your consideration. So some of the ones that we've talked about at various committees or around this table specifically, one with the Ministry of Health and a request for funding to either the county or our community partners for the staffing necessary to increase the availability of supportive housing. A delegation with the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, a request for additional funding to address the homelessness crisis from both a staffing and an additional infrastructure perspective. The third delegation is with the Ministry of Long-Term Care, reconsideration of the requirements in the Fixing Long-Term Care Act regarding infection prevention and control specialists. The funding provided by the province to enable us to undertake the requirements is not sufficient to cover the hours mandated. The certified personnel required to do the work are not available to hire, and the educational institutions who can certify those going through an education process do not have the capacity to do so at the present time. We do have 3 years to meet these requirements, but right now anybody we've tried to put into a training program has been waitlisted. So we would like to talk to them about that. As well, I had a recent conversation with the new CAO in Bruce County, Derek Thompson. We discussed, I had mentioned to him that we intended to talk to this council about removing the provincial tax portion from fuel prices for the fuel used in transit vehicles. Bruce County would like to support us in that and would like that to be a joint delegation. They would also like to jointly delegate with us around requesting additional funding to support service enhancements to community transit. So those are the 5 that I have. And if I've missed something or if anybody has any other thoughts, please let me know.
So are there any other, go ahead, Councillor O'Leary.
Thank you, Deputy Warden McQueen. Kim, I just wanted to ask if you thought it was necessary to follow up with the Minister of Education on the letter we sent regarding changing the curriculum in our schools for mental health and addictions.
Leave that with me too, because there is there's a minister specifically of Thibodaux with regard to mental health. I'll leave that with me. I'll put something together, whether it goes to education or whether it goes to him. Okay.
Thank you for that. And Councillor Swerver.
Yes, and certainly we haven't got an announcement yet, but by the time of AMO, we will get an announcement on the ASIP program. So that's with the Ministry of Infrastructure. And we're hoping that announcement comes out shortly after the election, so that would be in the next few weeks. And so I think we need to talk to the Ministry of Infrastructure, as you know, the county was divided into a number of large blocks, which will be auctioned off, but as of yet, there's been very little communication who the successful proponents are and how they might work with the municipalities. So there's a number of concerns there with regard to permitting and doing tracing of infrastructure and locates and that kind of thing. So I think that's an important issue. We are in the information age, and this will form the backbone. Well, it will form the fiber network in the county. So I do think that we want to be involved in, and so far the municipalities have not been involved.
Thank you. I will put something together for infrastructure as well. I'm reminded, I knew I was forgetting something. One of the other key issues we should be following up with is with the Ministry of Education and the access to licensed childcare spots, the wages and our ability to provide wage enhancement to ECEs to attract and retain them into the sector. This goes back to the long wait list that we have for licensed childcare. And the reason why we're not able to fill those spots with waiting kids is because we don't have the ECEs to manage them.
The province made a deal. Just on education, I know we're gonna, it's municipality Great Highlands, we're gonna make a delegation with regards to the school in Markdale as being undersized, and I don't know other schools in the county. I don't know, Meaford, I think you were already overbuilt or underbuilt there, so I don't know if that's something that may be worth considering, because I know from the planning side, is the growth that we're seeing here in the county, and you know, the number of homes that are, our schools are way behind on size, so I don't know if that's something that we can do as a joint consideration. I don't know. Just a reminder, we're gonna have a new government. It's gonna be new government, new ministers. There's time, you know, for us to shine off our shoes and show who we are, right? So. Okay, go ahead, Councilor Miller.
In regards to your comment about a new government, I like your optimism. My request or my question was in terms of a delegation, and I know it's a federal issue, but the 35% tariff that's been applied to fertilizer that was paid or bought and paid prior to the war starting in Ukraine is patently unfair to the community of agriculture. And I think we need to push a little harder on the province so they can push a little harder. And I'm wondering if maybe a delegation to Minister Thompson might stir that pot a little bit.
Like I say, it's going to be a new government and possibly new ministers too, right? So.
Now you're positive.
Well, no, there will be.
Come on, where are you with us or you're not? Come on.
No. We know the election is June 2nd, so obviously there's going to be a reset, right? Right, so.
Let's bring a resolution.
Okay, Madam Clerk's they're gonna bring a resolution to our next meeting. So is there anything else with regard to delegations? Councilor Mackey.
Thanks, Deputy Warden. In light of our earlier conversation around attainable and affordable housing, would it make sense to have a delegation to Minister Clark in regards to possible additional tools that we would want to see added, to achieve our goals?
I'm sure Scott and Randy could write volumes on that one. Are there any other ones? Again, it's going to be a reset here, so we know that that's going to be, and there's also the opportunity at the Bear Pit for questions too. We always know that's an opportunity as well. If you don't get your answer, sometimes the Bear Pit in front of everybody else sort of at least gets it on the radar too, right? So keep that in mind. All right, next other business, Heather, you wish to speak to County Council? Oh, well, I'll ask again later, but you go ahead.
All right, thank you. This is my last meeting in the chair, so thank you for allowing me a few moments. I want to express my gratitude to this council and past councils for their leadership over the years. It takes, and I didn't realize this until I came here, a tremendous amount of courage to put your name forward to serve in municipal government. Your leadership, your decision-making help in continuing to grow Grey County into a beautiful place to live, to work, to visit. I hope you will continue to put the needs of Grey County residents in the forefront of your decisions. Thank you to the senior management team under the leadership of Kim. There is some extraordinary talent here. And they see the vision for Grey County and have the passion to work at seeing that vision through. It's my hope that they will continue to lead with strength, lead with respect, and lead with compassion. Thank you to the clerks team, a remarkable group of women. You each bring skill, dedication, and knowledge to your jobs, and you've grown into such a wonderful team. Thank you for letting me be part of that team. I know with Tara taking the helm, the team will continue to exceed expectations. I'm honored to count you as friends as well as colleagues. I'm a born and raised Grey County girl, and that's a fact I'm very proud of. And I will continue to be a Grey County girl after I retire. Thank you for allowing me to be part of the Grey County team for the past 32 years. The changes over this time have been amazing, and I can't wait to see what great things lie ahead. Thank you.
So I take it there'll be possibilities of future delegations maybe in front of this group and I'm sure happy moments at your cottage as well. And watching us all on Zoom or YouTube. Oh, no. Well, maybe it's needed, right? So, all right, well, thank you. And we're going to miss you. And you have a lot of knowledge that you have brought and carried forward through, I think you said, how many years you've been here? 32 years. Well, that's more than life. And I'm sure Tara will have a phone call or a phone number just in case if there's an issue or something to follow up on. So again, thank you very much for your service. So I heard to beat that one for other business, but is there any other business? All right, so are there any notice of motions with regards to what? Are there any other notice of motions? Are there any notice of motions? Okay. Seeing there is none, then I need one more motion. Councillor Mackey and Councillor Fleet. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you very much.